Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello everyone, welcome. I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
From Top Notch Sports, and today we're going to be going over the 2022 Jacksonville Jaguars off-season moves. This is basically an off-season mock, okay? We're just going to do a free agency mock and an off-season draft mock. It's just the entire thing. So here we go. We got Doug Pederson. We got Trevor Lawrence. We know that the old Urban Meyer situation failed, but we're going to see what the Jacksonville Jaguars can do now with Doug Pederson. Mike, if you will, let's talk about the first slide and what all this means.
Sure, Nick. Sure. So we see they got $56 million available in cap room, which is a hefty amount compared to a lot of teams so far this free agency. Now, the green numbers, as you can see under the player's name for Miles Jack, for example, 8.3. That means if you release them, that is what you're freeing in your cap room. The red colored numbers is what you would lose if you cut them. So it will hurt you, go against the cap. So we'll be making some cuts within the green. The red is what you're going to lose. Nick, would you like to take over?
Yeah, so like Mike's saying clearly here, someone like Josh Allen, who you would not cut, but you would save $4.6 million. You also got someone like Dwayne Smoot, who you just cut and save $4.5 million. If you cut someone like Rayshawn Jenkins, you lose $3 million. So based off this now, you might have some opinions in your head on who you may want to cut, who you may want to keep on the team. Someone you would never want to cut here would be someone like Trevor Lawrence. And of course, that's common sense. Rayshawn Jenkins, you don't really want to cut either, because again, you will lose money. It makes no sense to cut these players. So now what we're going to do is hop into the next slide, and we're going to look at their notable losses. If you don't see some players here, it's because they're current free agents, and Mike's going to take that away on the notable losses. Let's go ahead, Mike.
All right, so let's dig into these notable losses. But before, I got to give a thanks, like I do every year, I did last year, to our numbers guy who figures out these contracts, figures out the percent of snaps played, Noah the Hoagie Roll Thompson. This guy's always coming through for us. We couldn't do it without him. Now, first, we got DJ Chark, wide receiver. He's expected to get a 3-year, $39.9 million deal. He was injured this year and only played 15.6% of the snaps, so this is something to look at. Then we got Andrew Norwell, offensive guard, veteran's been here for a long time. He's looking for a 3-year, $21.9 million deal, and he played a crucial amount of the snaps for Jacksonville this year, 99.4%. Then we got left tackle Cam Robinson. His expected contract is a 3-year, $33.9 million deal. He played 79% of the snaps. Now we got offensive guard A.J. Khan. He is expected a 1-year, $3 million deal, only racking up 18.3% of the snaps played this season. Then we got Jihad Ward, defensive end, projected a 1-year, $1.5 million deal, and he played 41.2% of the snaps this year.
All right, Mike, thank you for that. And again, thank you to Mr. Thompson. Truly, huge help for all of us. And if all the viewers would just give that man a round of applause. Real fast now, what Mike's saying here is, again, percent of snaps played. These are the guys that right now are free agents. So they got $56 million, I believe it is, to bring some of these guys back. Typically, a rule of thumb here, for me at least, guys that play a high percent of the snaps are typically the guys you want to bring back, okay? So let's go to the next slide, and I'll show you some of the potential moves here. Here are some of the potential targets. So right here now, we got estimated cuts. We don't have them really cutting anybody. You have $56 million is more than enough to make moves that you got to do this year. As we go down here under estimated signings, we got you guys bringing back old veteran Andrew Norwell through a 3-year, $21.9 million deal, which is a $7.3 million cap hit. Next, Zach Ertz. Ooh, pairing up with his old buddy, Doug Pederson. All right, Zach Ertz coming here on a 2-year, $20 million deal. This goes out to being a $10 million cap hit. Okay, what else is in store? Marcus Williams, safety, 4-year, $64.8 million deal. This is a $16.2 million cap hit. And last but not least, let's have a reunion. Allen Robinson, 3-year, $48 million deal, $16 million cap hit. All these numbers combined come out to $49.5 million of total cost, which shows you that you still have $6.5 million to make moves, sign your draft, your draft class and all that stuff. One thing I want to mention here, Allen Robinson, big question mark, right? Everyone's wondering, why is he back? Well, number one, he's familiar with Jacksonville. Number two, the story of Allen Robinson has been the guy's never truly had a quarterback. Well, now you get to go back to a familiar place with probably the best quarterback you've ever played with in Trevor Lawrence in your career. It could be a spot that we see him go back to, and it wouldn't shock me at all. So you go up here now to your team needs. You need a wide receiver. Well, we're signing Allen Robinson. You need a tight end. Well, we're signing Zach Ertz. You need an interior offensive lineman. Well, we're re-signing Andrew Norwell. Okay, and you need a safety. Well, we're signing Marcus Williams. Now, what are we going to do in the draft this year? Well, I know everyone's been hearing Evan Neal, but one name that you haven't been hearing that's been slowly rising up boards and might very well be the first overall pick, or even if Jacksonville trades down, it wouldn't shock me. Ikem Ekonwu, offensive tackle. Really good guy, can also play offensive guard. In the second round, they're going to go and fill in that defensive tackle need in DeMarvin Leal. Another really solid pick. Third round, Jalen Petre, a really nice pick there for the safety position. And last but not least, the other third round pick, we got Leo Chenal, the linebacker, coming in to make a difference. We got fourth round, fifth round, sixth round, seventh round. I'm not worried about that. There's a lot of questions on what's going to happen, how the board's going to fall. But in our mock draft, this is how we have the Jaguars drafting the first 3 rounds. Mike, I'm going to bring it back to you now to talk about their final depth chart here. Go ahead.
Yes, so here's our final depth chart. Now, in the green are players who were signed. So we see Allen Robinson and Marcus Williams and Zach Ertz immediately getting a starting spot on this team. We got Andrew Norwell in the orange. That means he is being re-signed. And then in the yellow, that's a placeholder. So we got Robertson Harris as a placeholder. We don't think he should be starting per se, but they don't have another option at the moment. And then we got the rookies in the light blue. We got Akili Conwu starting to tackle. We got DeMarvin Leal filling in right there at defensive tackle, Leo Chenal, linebacker, and then Jalen Pete, how do you say it?
Petre, I don't know myself yet.
We're not 100% sure of pronunciation, so if anybody knows, correct us. Starting at safety. So these are the colors we're going by to filling in, so everybody understands what the starting lineup is going to look like for the Jacksonville Jaguars this season.
Now, truly, for me, like I said, if they make this moves, I truly like it. I mean, look again, and I'll go right back to you in a second, but let me just talk here. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence with Doug Pederson. Doug Pederson, to me, Super Bowl winning coach, got it done in Philadelphia. Mike, you're an Eagles fan. You know all about Doug Pederson. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence to run a young quarterback. The Urban Meyer experience did not work. The experiment did not work. You got James Robinson and Travis Etienne, a running back that's very good in James Robinson. Travis Etienne, an old pal of his, right? Really good connection between the two of them. Let's see if both of them can get healthy this year. You got wide receivers, Allen Robinson, Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault. We're saying maybe also under a reserve. Maybe they also bring in another wide receiver just to come in and give Lawrence another option. That would be nice. You got a really pretty good offensive line here. Now, Ikem Ekonwu played a little bit of left tackle. You can move him into guard if he fails a tackle. He played guard. And also, I mean, Walker Little played good at left tackle this year. That's why we're leaving him there for now. Maybe let Ikem Ekonwu make the change. But Mike knows, I know, it's like writing with a different hand, switching from left tackle to right tackle, or right tackle to left tackle. So it's going to be tough. So whoever can make that transition better, that's the guy that's going to probably do it. Interior offensive line is pretty good with Brandon Linder, Andrew Norwell, and Ben Barch. Brandon Linder didn't have a great year this year, but I'm sure he'll go right back to his normal form. On the defensive side of the ball, Josh Allen, superstar. DeMarvin Leal coming in the second round. Really nice pick for them there. DeJuan Smoot this year, I believe, had a few sacks. Played pretty good for the Jacksonville Jaguars team. Shaquille Griffin's always been pretty good for them. Tyson Campbell was a rookie last year, leaving him there on the other cornerback side. You got a new safety. You got a new middle linebacker. You got Miles Jack still, who had struggled a little bit last year, but going to try to find his way out here with a new defensive coordinator. Marcus Williams, who's been a world-class safety over the last few years, and Clavon Chason, who's been a little rusty to start off his career, but somebody that I feel like could possibly come in and maybe change it with a new defensive coordinator. Mike, what do you got to say?
I like the way this team's looking. We might see Clavon Chason take a defensive end role this year.
Yeah.
So they actually might need another linebacker for coverage and stuff. But I think under Doug Pederson, it's only going to help Trevor Lawrence. And I'm excited to see what the Jaguars do. I don't expect them to be a contender, but I expect truly to see improvement. I mean, this team's been absolutely terrible the last couple seasons, and I expect to see improvement, maybe a few wins this year.
Yeah, and I absolutely agree with you. I feel like they're going to be competitive this year if they make these moves. It's possible. It's easy. Look, the cap room that we used, again, I want to make this very clear, they can save even more money if they do post-June 1st cuts. We're not going to predict all that. But with this roster right here, is very young, it's upcoming, and I feel like it gives them a chance to be competitive in the AFC South. Real fast, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the first slide where you're going to see the original roster right now who's under contract. And now we're going to go and see the new and approved roster. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. I think, again, this team, I can probably say if they make these moves, I'm expecting around 5-6 wins. Maybe even 7 if everything goes right. What do you think for wins-wise? I know their schedule's not out yet, but if this is a team, what do you think?
5 wins.
5 wins. All right. That's all from us, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know what you think. We got NFL draft grades or prospect grades and so much more mock drafts coming soon. So be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Mike, say it for us.
We are built better.
See you guys soon. Peace.